Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute drawstring pouch bag out of an old pair of jeans. So first things first, grab your old pair of jeans, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the bottom part of the jeans just about where the knee would sit. And once we've cut the ends of the jeans off, what we're going to do is just cut along one of the seam lines just to open the fabric up. Once you've done that, what I'm going to go and do is cut off the previous hemline that is already there. So now we're going to have two pieces that look like this. Now on only one of the pieces, we're going to go ahead and cut along the seam line again because we don't need both panels. Now that we've cut that panel off, what we're going to go and do is sew it onto our other section, and we're going to do that by laying the pieces on top of each other with the correct side of the fabric together, then pinning along the side that we want to sew and then taking it to the sewing machine. So we're going to go and sew just a basic straight stitch. Now all of our three sections are sewn together, what we're going to go ahead and do is measure the side sections just to make sure they're the same size and then cut them down if need be. Next, we're also going to cut a straight line along the bottom. So now we should be left with a piece with 3 panels with nice straight even sides. So what we're going to do now is turn our fabric the other side and fold it in half. Now when we fold the piece over, we want to make sure the seams that are already on the fabric are in the same place on both sides. Next, what we're going to do is draw out a 5 by 5 centimeter square on each of the bottom corners of the fabric. Once you've finished drawing them out, we can go ahead and cut those corners off. Once we've cut those corners off, we're going to go ahead and turn our fabric inside out and line everything up again. Once you're happy with the positioning of everything, we're going to go ahead and grab our pins and just pin along each side. Once you've finished pinning everything, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and do a straight stitch about 1 centimeter from the edge of your fabric. Now once you've stitched your sides together, we're going to focus on those corners, and we're just going to open up the seam allowance on the side and then pull those 2 corners together as you see me doing here. We're going to go ahead and align our edges up, then put a pin in the middle and then take that side to the sewing machine and again sew about 1 centimeter from the edge. And then repeat the process on the other side. Now once you've sewn both of those corners, we can go ahead and turn our fabric the right way around, and you should be left with nice edges like this. So now we're going to put this piece of the bag to the side and start working on the top part. Now for the top part where our drawstring is going to fit, you can see I've got 2 pieces of jean fabric here. Now to cut them to length for your bag, you just want to leave about 1 centimeter on each side at the top of your bag. What we're then going to do is fold that piece in half lengthways, with the good side of the fabric being on the outside. We're then going to pin it in place to one side of our bag and then take it to the sewing machine with a simple straight stitch again and sewing about 1/2 centimeter to 1 centimeter from the edge. Once you've done this on both sides and sewn it all together, we're going to move on to making the bag strap. To make this a shoulder bag, you want the bag strap no shorter than 1 meter and also 2 to 3 inches wide. We're then going to fold it in half as you see me doing here and stitch straight along the edge about 1/2 centimeter to 1 centimeter again. When you're stitching, leave the small ends open, and once you've stitched along the main part, you're going to turn your fabric inside out. You will then be left with a strap that looks like this. What we're going to do next is attach our strap to the bag. We're going to pin the bag in place in that small gap that we left either side earlier. And again, once you've pinned it in place, we're going to take it over to the sewing machine and do a straight stitch. You then want to repeat that step on the other side, making sure that your strap isn't twisted before you stitch the other side. Now we're going to put this to one side and move on to making the lining for our bag. For the lining, we're going to be doing the same first steps that we did with the bag. So this piece needs to be the same size and draw those 5 centimetre squares in the corner, cutting them out, then stitching along the edges again. Once we've finished making our lining, what we're going to do is take our bag and we're going to fold our bag up, making sure the outside of the fabric remains on the outside, and put it inside of the lining. When you put your bag on the inside of your lining, you want to make sure that the good side of your lining is on the inside. We're then going to line up the two pieces together, making sure that they all fit correctly and are in the right place. Making sure your strap and your drawstring flaps are tucked down so we don't sew them in place by accident. We're then going to pin it in place and sew a straight stitch 1 centimetre from the edge, leaving about a 2 to 3 inch gap on one side of your bag so we can pull all the fabric back through. Now once it's stitched together, we can find that opening that we left and pull the jeans fabric back through. Once you've pushed everything back through and your lining's in place, with that small gap that we left, we're just going to take and do a single stitch straight along the edge. time to put together the drawstrings. Now for this, I've cut strips of my jeans fabric and I'm actually going to plait 3 of them together, but you can use rope or any other fabric that you would like to use as your drawstrings instead. When making or cutting your drawstrings, they need to be 3 to 4 times longer than the width of your bag. Now here at this end, instead of tying the knot, I'm just going to use some masking tape to keep it in place. This way it will be easier to thread through the bag. When you have your drawstrings ready, now it's time to push it through those flaps that we created at the top of the bag. Now I'm going to do this by attaching my non-knotted end and taping it to the end of a paintbrush so it's easier to push through. When you've pulled your drawstring through both sides of your bag, we're then going to move on to the next one. For this one, you want to start on the opposite end so the tassels hang down on both sides. Once you have all of your ends through, we can go ahead and tie those knots in, the previous ones that we put masking tape on. And there we go, we've all finished our first drawstring bag.